Welcome to the Boom Boom Room, y'all, where there's no topic too big or small, where we talk about it all. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Boom Boom Room. I have with me today Mr. MagicMerve, guys, from YouTube. What's up, Merv? How you doing?
I'm all good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad you agreed to come on here and bear all your secrets, Merv.
No, it's a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this. I won't lie.
You know, I'm gonna pick your brain. I'm gonna get all your deep dark secrets. You know that, don't you?
Good luck.
I'm
Good
known
luck.
for that. Nah, but how you been doing?
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. Yeah, all good. Just getting over the bit of man flu, but other than that, I can't complain. You know.
Man, that man flu is like 3 times worse than a woman's flu. You know.
Oh, damn right it is. People don't know how painful it is.
Yeah, man, I don't like those flus. Whew. So just like is that what it was? A flu or a bad cold?
Oh, I think it was a sort of somewhere in the middle, but it came at the worst time because I've just had 2 weeks holiday from work and I got ill immediately. So, you know, I had to game. That was the only thing I could do, and what a shame that was.
Oh man, I tell you what, for some reason it seems like every time that I would take time off when I was working or my birthday, I would get sick. It was like every time. It just like your body says
law.
no. Yeah.
Yeah,
body
man.
says, hell no, man. You ain't gonna relax. You're not gonna have fun. You're gonna suffer, you son of a bitch.
You can't take no holiday.
No, exactly. But anyway, I guess I'll get started. So how's your channel doing?
It's doing all right. The last couple of years have been interesting. I mean, it's certainly going. It's doing things I never thought it would do. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I can't complain. You know.
Well, how long have you had your channel? Or
Oh wow.
the main
crikey.
channel? Because how many channels do you have? 3.
Well, technically, I've got 5. I've got 1 on Twitch, 1 on Kick, and I've got 3 on YouTube. But if we're talking about the main channel, I think I had it probably, you know, like 2000s, early 2000s, maybe 2006. And I just, you know, watched videos on it, didn't really do much with it. But I'd say I've taken it seriously probably the last 2, maybe 3 years, I think. Other than that, I've just used it for normal watching, you know?
Yeah. What are you setting it sub-wise on your main channel?
I think it's like 942, something like that, I think.
Dang, guys. Get out there and give him a sub. He's close to 1,000. I didn't know he was that close.
Well, that's the final goal. That is the final.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about goals and things later, but that is the final one. But yeah, I think, and for me, 900, I mean, to most people, they'll probably laugh at that. And to me, that's like, wow, what an achievement, you know?
Oh, man. Those people that laugh is people I don't want to have nothing to do with. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't mind as long as they comment on the videos and help the algorithm, you know?
Yeah, they can do. Yeah, they
say
can
what they like.
They
say what they like. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Well, what reason did you start like 3 separate channels on YouTube?
Good question. I think when I started, I didn't really know. I wanted it to be a variety channel. That's the thing. And if you look right back on my early videos, it was things like Among Us or It Takes Two. And I just sort of, that, you know, as a small channel, the videos didn't do very well. So you just carry on plodding along, playing different games, do a bit of Minecraft. And then all of a sudden, DayZ kind of just took over. It became most people watching my channel are watching DayZ, and that's what the channel has become. It's a, you know, first person shooter kind of channel. But it, you know, I've got that itch where I wanted to do sim racing because motorsport's my passion in life, and you know, I like playing other games. And I was thinking, well, they're not really hitting on this main channel, so why not just make 3 channels that are, you know, I've got the DayZ channel, I've got one dedicated to sim racing, and if you don't like DayZ but you do like sim racing, you can just come over there and stay there. And I got the variety channel, which is just where I go to chill, really. So yeah, that's kind of how it's kind of evolved, really.
Well, I've heard some experts say that is the best way to do it. You know, especially when you're starting out, and if you're under 1,000 or under 1,000 too, you know, dedicate basically pretty well one game to a channel.
Mm.
You know, and I've heard him say that too about shorts. You know, if you're going to do a lot of shorts, it's really best to, you know, make a separate channel for that. But I don't live by the rules, you know.
Oh no, do you know what I have noticed? The craziest thing is the variety channel, where I play anything from Minecraft to Repo to Raft, whatever. I'll play anything, and the shorts over there are fantastic for me. That, you know, they're very good. I find on the single channels, it don't perform as well, you know. But then like, consistency is key, isn't it? And if you're not pumping them out,
Yeah,
you're gonna find that, you know.
yeah, it's weird. I think everything's different. I'm not gonna mention every time that I interview somebody on here, I'll mention this. I might as well mention it's tradition. Okay.
Go on.
3 months back, you know, I've done a little experiment where I quit doing shorts for 3 months to see if it bring, you know, my analytics up with my long form videos and my lives, and it did. It actually did. It helped it because it didn't like out of the ballpark or anything, but it did help it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, you put a post out about that, didn't you? I swear.
I
I
think
remember
did
reading
a while
it.
back. But anyway, I mean, it didn't do super fantastic, but it did do some good. And gaining subs has been slow, I think. But I started doing, you know, shorts back again, and about every one of them I've been putting out since then, one a day. I've been getting at least 1,000. You know, and there's a few.
That's good.
There's a few now. You know, got like 700 or 800, but I used to always get a lot. That's what really helped me get monetized back when you had to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours with shorts.
Yeah.
You know, it really did. But yeah, I think that's a good idea how you got it done. And you said racing. You must really like racing, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just always have ever since I was a kid. I just like cars. I like bikes. You know. So yeah, I got introduced to a game called iRacing, which kind of took me up another level to what I was used to. And I've just and that the thing is that racing channel is probably. It's my passion, but it's the one I get most stressed over because I don't know why. Because it's a physical thing. I think people forget when you are, you know, I've got a steering wheel with that's called. It's a direct drive steering wheel, so it's like a motor in it, and it's a real genuine hard thing to turn at times. So I think you get that real immersion in it, you know, and it's kind of crazy, and it introduces me to different sports because. You know, I'm English. I don't really know much about NASCAR, but I've been watching loads of videos, and I'm now obsessed with NASCAR. And I'll probably go and race over on my channel, racing those. So that's the passion. That's the one.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't really get into racing. I got a first cousin. He's like a die-hard race fan of you know, Indy racers. You know, he likes Formula One. And we've been to a couple Indy races in Kansas City and Texas. And I used to go to NASCAR races all the time. But for about 15 years, I was nuts over them, you know. But I quit going to races. It just clicked on me, and I just quit it. But he become friends with a famous racer, my first cousin. The reason why is his cousin on his mom's side, you know, his dad was my uncle, done some work for this racer. I don't know if you know him. I don't even know if he's dead or not. He's a famous Indy racer, AJ Foyt. And my first cousin got friends with him, like talked to him on the phone, met him at his place, and when he goes to the Indianapolis 500, he went down in the pits with him a couple times. I know it's been like 7 or 8 years ago, but he's a pretty famous, you know, IndyCar racer, old man. And
I can't say I've heard of him. I know I used to work with a guy that was the brother-in-law of is it Scott Dixon, the New
Yeah.
Zealander?
Yep.
Yeah,
Scott
I
Dixon.
still see him about every now and then. But
Yeah.
when he told me who, because he just said, "Oh yeah, my brother-in-law's a famous driver," and he didn't really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then when he told me who it was, I thought, "Oh my god, I've got to get in here," because I do like a bit of Indy. I've got to be honest.
Oh yeah, Indy. I really love Indy car racing, man. And back in the day, my first one, we went to a race in I think it was in Texas, and they had some kind of. I think it was the week before the one got killed. Was it the Australian driver?
Dan Whelan.
Dan Whelan. It was a week
Yeah, that's
before.
Wilden. That's him.
It was a week or two before Dan Whelan got killed. And I seen him down there because my cousins met the Marios several times, all the folk Marios. He's got so many stuff from them. And I seen him. I said, "There's Dan Whelan," and then came Danica Patrick and all of them. Well,
Yeah.
and then the next week, that's when he got killed. Yeah, we watched it. And when that happened, my cousin said, "He'll be all right." I said, "Man, he's not all right, dude. He just started tarp over his car, and they're crying. No, he's all right. He was just wanting to be positive." Because when he found out, I was tore up. He started crying because he's a big race fan. And it was a sad deal. That was tragic, man. That
was a bad day for motor racing. That was not nice.
Yeah. And when Dale Earnhardt died, my mom was down there like a mile from the track when it happened. She's doing vacation in Daytona, Florida. I think it was in 2001. I'm pretty sure 2000. And Dale Earnhardt was like the king in NASCAR.
Oh, he was the man, wasn't he? He was.
Yeah.
In fact, funny enough, it was today I was reading a story about his son, saying how I think his biggest fear was that he was gonna that Dale would get forgot about.
Oh, he did. Oh, he did.
No, man, he's the legend. It doesn't even matter if you don't even need to know about motorsport. Everyone knows that name.
Yeah, yeah. He was a legend. He had an attitude too when he went on that racetrack. Man, he had an attitude. But they had a little dirt track about 3 miles, maybe a little bit farther than that. But you can hear them sometimes on Saturday night where I lived out in the country in Oklahoma. And I know, like, before they become big, there was, the racers would come there and race. Everybody got to start somewhere.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. I forget the main one would come there he's from Arkansas. But yeah, I never got super into it, but it is a sport. When you do get into it, it's really, really fun. Really
I think that's I think I like the idea of NASCAR because it's the fans. I mean, you wouldn't get it in the UK where they're in the middle of a track with a barbecue.
Yeah, that's the best part, man.
You don't get that over here, and I kind of it's sort of on my bucket list to go over and watch it one day. I think it's my kind of people,
Yeah, well, if you ever come over here, look me up. I might meet you or something. And
yeah.
I got a funny story about it. Back when I was partier, you know what I mean? And
yes,
I went to, before I get into that, what you say about the barbecue, and that was my favorite part. Before the race, man, we'd get out in the parking lot and we'd barbecue, drink a few beers or whatever. If he wasn't drinking, like if I bring my son or whatever, I remember my son as a kid, I took him to a race, and before the race, he had Tony Hawk, the skater.
Oh, yeah. And
he done some tricks, when you get on those tracks, man, they're so steep.
Oh, man, yeah.
And those curves, it blows
your mind. Climbing a mountain.
Yeah, you look at them and you don't think that you think they're flat, but so they're steep, around those curves. It's just crazy, man. You walk on the track. But I haven't really told this story public, but I was, and I don't condone any kind of drug use. I'm against that, guys. Any kind of drug use or overpartaking of the devil's liquor. But I was, this has been, let me tell you what year it was. Oh my gosh. Been about 10 or 11 years ago, I was in Kansas City at a NASCAR race, huge NASCAR race. I was so, messed up on certain pills, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was putting them on the back of the bleachers, and I was, sniffing them off the back of the bleachers,
Oh my God.
drinking these big tall beers. Next thing I know, I wake up and I was in the NASCAR hospital.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I can actually say that I went to the NASCAR hospital.
There you go.
Yeah. I had some bruises and stuff. I was a fool, I done some foolish stuff, but not too many people can say they ended up in.
No, that's true. That's true.
NASCAR.
I mean, let's be honest, it's not the place you want to end up in, but if you're going to go somewhere, you might as well.
Yeah, well, at least I didn't go to jail. I mean, that was a good deal. I don't know.
I like that. That's positive thinking. I like that.
Yeah.
It's the best. You're the better of two bad worlds, that is.
I mean, the downfall is I did miss, like half the race, but oh well. But,
it happens.
Yeah, but you might have done answered this because I only drunk 3 cups of coffee so far since I got up. But what was the reason you started your main channel?
Well, I mean, I said at the start, it was about, like most people would, it was about watching videos. You got to go on YouTube. You need an account to watch videos, etc. The reason I started gaming was actually my friend Sketchny, who I occasionally game with on my variety channel. And Sketchny's been streaming or making videos for 15, 16 years. And she's really good at what she does. And she's really passionate.
Yeah.
And she's an advocate for disabled gaming because she's registered blind. And I just I felt a little bit inspired by her videos. And I thought, you know what, I might give this a go. And that was where it. So the channel obviously was just for standard viewing, but really the gaming came from Sketchny.
Yeah.
And it started off slow and it was painful and there were lots of mistakes and I learned along the way. And little things like the equipment I've got now I didn't have back then, so it was a little bit harder. And I'm not saying it's polished by any stretch of the imagination now, but yeah, she has been my main inspiration behind it all, and she's been extremely helpful along the journey as well.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I'm sub to her too, and she's the redheaded one, right? That's good.
Yeah, she dyes her hair red. She chops it off for charity.
Yeah.
She and I don't know if it was fortunate or unfortunate. I took her to a Comic-Con event once because that's one of her hobbies.
Yeah.
And I can tell you now, although she walks with a stick, get out of the way, man, because she is an absolute beast with that thing. I like to think I'm organized, but she is on another level of organization when it's trying to get someone's signature, let me tell you.
Yeah, she's got a different, is she? She's determined, I guess.
Oh, that's an understatement, yeah.
She's a different, she live in the same area as you because she's got a different accent, doesn't she?
She doesn't originally come from where I am, but she lives probably about half a mile away from me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and depending on where I am, because I can, within my job, I travel around a bit sometimes, and depending on where I go, my accent changes anyway. So yeah.
That's back when I done that for 20 years, traveling, work, and I enjoyed it. At the time, sometimes it was aggravating, you wanted to be home, but I look back, I've seen some wonderful places, you know what I mean? Places a lot of people will never see their whole life. But yeah, I enjoyed content. I seen that she was disabled. It was something to do with her, her sight. And,
it is, yeah. She's registered, but she's just had an operation on her eye, actually. But I think what I like is because of her eyesight, her attention to detail is insane. Yeah. If I make a thumbnail, she'll point out something wrong every time, and I just think, how did you see that? But she's been a real star of my channel. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Barmby's followers have helped out, and Milkman's helped out in the past of running with him, and there's been loads of people that have helped. But I think the person I would not have a channel if it wasn't for Sketch. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's cool. I got, I was talking to you before about my dad being handicapped. I got a soft heart for people like that because I grew up, most of my, until I was 21 with my father and, taking care of him. I always got a soft heart for people. I think it's amazing that most people that are handicapped or got there are the most happiest people, most positive people,
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I don't treat Sketchney as, and I know she would never expect me to. I never treat her any different than anyone else. And if anything, I'm probably harder on her when we try to do certain things. And she just gets on with it. That's the good thing. She just gets on with it. She doesn't let it bother her. If she does, she does it in private. And yeah, fair play to her. A lot of respect to her.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Question here. What's your favorite game?
Oh, wow. Now, kind of, hard question, but
or
depends what
top three.
Okay, if I had to pick my top favorite, it would be the GTA series, the Grand Theft Auto, without a doubt, because I played the first two, the 2D versions from, when you look down on the game, and loved it. And then I remember GTA 3 coming out, and it was like, I can only liken it to someone having God come into their life. I just had this game and I thought, oh, wow, I have never seen anything like this. It just blew my mind. And that was it. I just followed the GTA series. And obviously we haven't had a GTA out for a long time and we're not getting the next one till next year. But the storylines are good. I like the open play world part of it. I like you can go online, you can chill out. There's just so much to do in it. And it's also the first game I ever completed because I'm normally just, doss around on a game, do a few things and then finish with it and then I'm happy. But GTA sucked me in. So I'd say that is definitely my most favorite. To be honest, I'd probably put, at the moment, I'd put DayZ as my second favorite game. But as Barnby said, he summed it up perfectly. It is a hard game to like and to love. And there are times when I just do not want to see the light of day ever again. But I'm enjoying it at the minute, and I think it leads on to other things, different servers, Armor, Reforger, things like that. So I'd say GTA number 1, DayZ at the moment number 2. Number 3 is a tricky one because it can be basically anything really. Because sometimes it's Minecraft. I got some real fond memories of playing Minecraft when I was younger. I've met some great people through that. There's a game called Satisfactory, which is where you're on an alien planet and you've got to try and mine resources and build machines to automate it. And that just kind of gets my OCD itch out the way. Yeah. And then there's loads of games. I mean, sometimes it's just the games that you probably play once in your life and then you'll never play it again, but you just have such fond memories of it sometimes, But there's so many out there. How do you pick, Yeah,
exactly. I'm the same way, I've got there's 6-7 games that to me are masterpieces. It's got a lot of nostalgia and like the GTA, series, there's a couple I played, but there was a time in my life that I went, AWOL with playing games. I didn't play them. So there's a lot of probably masterpieces I missed because I wasn't gaming. I wasn't a gamer my whole life, just periods in my life. So
yeah, there's games out there that I know are good games I've never played. I've never played Halo. I've never played Final Fantasy. Yeah. I've gone right off Call of Duty, and I'm sure it's also there's everyone's got their own favorite things, haven't they? As long as you're having fun. I mean, I one of the games that's just popped into my head is a game called Bomberman. Now, you have to be a certain age to remember that game, and I used to play it on the SNES. And okay, the game itself wasn't much, but it's just playing it with my mates. I'm around their house. I'm having a sleepover. We're playing it all night, and it's not necessarily the game. Sometimes it's that that moment in life, you know.
Exactly. The atmosphere and what was going on. And talk about that. It's like before, me and my son and daughter's mom got divorced, we would game and play Borderlands,
Oh
one,
yeah, yeah, good game.
and then Fallout 3 and and Fallout New Vegas. That's all we do. Me and my two kids, that was our time together, and they loved it. They're gamers right now. And those whole Fallout's it's Fallout. I mean, it's masterpiece. A lot of them are, and great games. Everybody knows them. And
I got to admit, Fallout is a game that I really want to play, and I've got Gringo to thank for that, because I watched him playing it once and I just thought, what is this? And because of that, I watched the TV, the series they've got out. And yeah, Fallout's a game I'd like to get into. I think that's got real potential.
Yeah, Fallout, my son, he's played them all. They go back, way back, like 1 and 2. But Fallout 3, it's dated now, the graphics, but man,
oh, God,
great game, dialogue. Fallout New Vegas is probably my favorite game of all time. Fallout New Vegas, and then Fallout 4 is really good. Fallout 76 online was a big disappointment. I mean, there's still a lot of people like it, but I never liked it. But what's cool about Fallout 4 is the building, man. You could build, a whole freaking town. You don't even have to play the game; just go into build mode. It's one of those games, and
just a vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you talk about Minecraft. My son told me that he used to, when Minecraft first come out, he would pirate it, some way get it. I don't know how he was telling me, but I guess steal it or something, or get it a long
God
time
knows,
ago.
I wouldn't have I wouldn't have a clue.
Years ago, before it got popular, he would play it. He was telling me about it. See, I've never played Minecraft, but I liked 7 Days to Die because of the building. And that's kind of the same thing in a way, but
it's. I mean, I've played 7 Days. I've watched you play it as well, and it's. I think that's kind of more. I always look at that game and I think that reminds me of Call of Duty Zombies, and I liked playing it. I'd say, Minecraft it's a little bit more less complex, very simple. You can do more stuff there, but also you can't. But yeah,
I know this is crazy, and people are going to say, "What? You're a gamer, and you're going to say what?" What is the whole premise of Minecraft? I don't even know. Is there a story, or is there missions, or what?
Honestly, it's what you want to make it. Some people just like to build in creative and never play with anyone and never have any mobs on. Some people like at the moment, I'm playing on a community server and I'll be making videos of that. For me, the purpose is go and mine resources, build things, farm things. It's one of those games where there's no end goal. I mean, there is. You go and fight this dragon, and you go into this place called the End, and that's as far as you can go. And then you just repeat that. But it's what you make it. Some people. I mean, I was watching a short today of someone's made a supercomputer in the game, and I'm like, how the hell have you done that? And they're using this redstone contraption thing and all this. That's way out of me. I'm not interested in that. But the fact that you can do that is great. And some people go on and make these amazing realistic builds, and that's great. And then there's some people that just quite happy growing their potatoes, farming them, eating them, and going to sleep. That's the point of it.
Well, I think overall, because I suck at like PvP for DayZ, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at Call of Duty, or nothing, shooting somebody else. I'm not competitive at all. I've never been competitive. So that's what my favorite thing is about a game, is I like going in a game, building, crafting, surviving, fighting enemies. That's probably my ideal game. Now, you go back to like, of course it's Rockstar. I think that Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably one of my favorite games too. It's a masterpiece. That game is absolute. The story, oh my gosh, and the online is really good, and That's a game like if you tell somebody, dude, if you got to pick 3 games to play, that's one of them. You got to play it. Don't go in not knowing anything. The story it's so much emotions in the story. You know, it's really, really good.
Well, you're gonna hate me because considering GTA is my favorite game, I have never played Red Dead ever, one or two, and it looks like the exact kind of game I'd want to play. But like most things, it's getting the time, and I would absolutely love to play that game. But I think I'm at the point where I've missed the bus on that one, you know?
Yeah, well, I understand. There's things that I've wanted to play, but I know that I'll probably never, play them. I mean, I'll be reality, like Halo. I've never played it. My son, that is his generation, and he's big Halo, but he don't play it now. But he likes soul games, soul type games. Anything that'll make you anxiety and and scream.
My worst nightmare.
Yeah, so like games, but Call of Duty. I've got cousins all the time. Man, come on, cuz, let's play some Call of Duty. So, man, I do not like it. That's all they play. Come on, let's play. So, dude, I just can't play it. I'm not into it.
Well, it's the thing is, right? So Call of Duty would have been my number 2 game. But it's just gone off into a direction I just can't get on with. But for me, the best Call of Duty, there's 2 Call of Duties in particular. The first one was the World at War game, where it was the first kind of multiplayer I'd ever played. And absolutely obsessed with it. Loved it. Thought it was brilliant. And the other one is, I can't remember what the title of the game was.
Was it Modern Warfare?
I can't remember, but it had Blackout as the Battle Royale on it. And me and my mates, like your cousins, we would play that every single day for about 3 or 4 hours. And there was a group of us, and we just go and play quads, or we do custom games. But you look at it now, and the game's free if you want to play online. Oh, brilliant! But you've got to have the disk space. So that's the first problem. You've got to have storage. The second is you are constantly on the back foot, because if you buy the actual game, you can have your loadouts and all things like that, and it's gone in a direction that I just can't get on board with.
I agree with you.
Know what I mean?
I agree with you 100%. But it's just, like I said, I kind of missed the bus on all that. I just, I did too, man. I don't down anybody. Whoops, sorry about that. Something just popped up. Well, what's going on with this phone? I can't turn it off. There you go. I told you I'm not perfect. Merv. You trying to paint me as the perfect guy. But dude, for real, there's a lot that I missed. I feel sad about it, but I won't go. Yeah, I know I won't go back and do it. I'm not going to be able to go back and watch them and play.
No, but do you know what? The beauty about gaming for me is it doesn't matter. If you miss something, it doesn't matter, because there's going to be something else. I mean, Lethal Company, okay, it's not an amazing game, but I really missed that. I didn't really get into that. And everyone was banging on about how amazing it was. But then Repo comes in, which is something very similar. And, and Lethal Company gets forgotten about. And I think that's the beauty about gaming. It's just endless. And it's, in my view, it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and better.
Yeah.
And, I look back now playing Bomberman on the Super Nintendo, the SNES, and I thought that was the pinnacle of gaming at the time. And then GoldenEye came out on the Nintendo 64, and I thought, oh my word, this is it. It cannot get better. And then GTA, and it's just, it's going to get to the point one day where we're all just living in a gaming world, I reckon. And I'm all for that. I just get lost in it,
Yeah, me too. GoldenEye, man, when that came out, that was just something else.
That was it, wasn't it? That was a Friday night around my mate's house.
Yeah,
and we would just constantly play against each other. Who could get the golden gun the quickest? And
Yep, exactly. And I was newlywed. Had my son was real young, and all my buddies would come over, and I was broke, and
it didn't matter because you had GoldenEye,
Yeah, GoldenEye. I didn't have much. Maybe had some cereal in there to eat. Wasn't going hungry or nothing, but you know what I mean. I remember those
A
days.
simpler life, wasn't it? It was a simpler life.
Yeah, it really was. But there's games that stuck with me. Skyrim's another one. I love Skyrim, and it was a part of my life when played it. I played it a little late in the game. I played it in, I think it was 2019 when I first played it, and I was transitioning over a couple years from being a crazy life, and I started getting back into gaming. That's when
Nice.
in 2019, because I haven't gamed in like years. Like, let's see, it was 2019, almost 9 years, you know, since I gamed. And I just played it. But I really enjoyed it and remember stuff, you know, and I think gaming has a lot to do with the emotions you're going through too. And I don't know if you're like this, Merv, but I can't game if I'm not in the right mood. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. There, there are times where I will not stream for weeks on end because my gaming buddies have taught me this. If you are not enjoying it, what the hell is the point in gaming? Because I am not here to make money. I'm not here to try and achieve this, whatever, this achievement. I am here to have fun, de-stress, have some fun with my buddies along the way. And you know what? Life gets in the way, and that's okay. But you touched on earlier when we were talking about the YouTube algorithm and things. And I always feel like there's this constant shadow behind me going, you got to stream, you got to stream, you got to stream. And I just refuse. I mean, I'm bad at taking orders at the best of times. So
yeah,
when I feel pressured, I won't do it. And I agree with you. If you don't enjoy it, just go and enjoy life. There's a whole world out there that we all forget about sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. And I think that you should, do it. If it stresses you out, just like having a channel, I tell people that start out, what are you in it for? I mean, I'm like asking you, I don't know if I asked you this question. What are you in it for? I mean, what are you really in it for?
Honestly,
What do you
people
see,
don't believe
this.
What do you
see your future of it in too?
I mean, if I had in an ideal world, right? So here's a little bit of an insight into me outside of gaming. I like to invest. I'm a private investor. I'm a bit of a Warren Buffett kind of person, right? He's a hero of mine. So in an ideal world, I would be financially in a position where I don't have a mortgage, that I've paid that off. I'm comfortable for money. I don't need to work. And I would game, and I would love to just game and have a community. That's my end goal. Is I'd love a community where I go and stream and there's like, I don't know, 500 to 2,000 people in chat, and we're all just chatting, and if someone's had a bad day, we all, group round and go, come on, let's have some fun, let's do this. And I would just love to do that, I don't know, 5 hours a day, and I'd be quite happy. And when I say I'm not in it for the money, I really mean it. I am not. I just it doesn't. All money it's a marker of success. It doesn't do anything else for me. It is just. It's like saying I want to hit 1,000 subs, and I want to get 4,000 watched hours because I want to make some money off my videos. Now, it's not about the money. It's the fact that I'm partnered with YouTube and I can't get, that's it. I've achieved that, and whatever happens now is just a bonus. But yeah, the community is my main goal. Whether it's someone stuck on something with gaming, like a game and they need some help, or there's a software issue or a technical issue or whatever it is, you can just come into my Discord and go, right, here's a question, and basically like Reddit, but not full of dickheads. That's pretty much what I'd like. And I made going back to Minecraft, I watched a guy called B000100, and sadly quite a few years ago, his daughter passed away when she was born. And she had, I can't remember what condition she had, but I remember watching this vlog that he did, because he did Minecraft videos and he also had a separate channel for vlogs. And he did this vlog, and I don't know why, it just hit me. And I thought, one day I'm going to make some money from YouTube and I'm going to just donate it to that charity. So I'm not in it for the money for me in any way, shape or form, but I'd like to do something good. Any money that came of it, I'd like to do something good with that one day. That would, when you can just, you're at the pearly gates and you just think, can I honestly say I did something good in my life? Yes. And I'd like to be able to look back at that and say, Yeah,
I'm at the point in my life, I think in the same way, because I had a different mindset when I was younger. I wasn't like thinking about taking over the world. Screw this person. I want all the money in the world. But
No. I
used to think when I was younger that money made you a man, and that was the pinnacle of success. Me personally, no, I don't think that. I mean, I think that, yeah, you got to have money to eat, take care of your family. I'm not saying to live like a hippie in the desert, but I think that, if you want to have some nice stuff and things, you can afford it, and it's not stressing you out all the time, and you're taking care of your family, fine. That's me personally what I think. But, I'm like you. I would love to help people out, more than I already do. You know what I mean? Which I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't sit here and tell you things I do in my real life. There's very few people know things that I do for people. Because I don't have no money. I can't always give because of because my health. It don't work anymore. And but I'm like you. I don't want to be on my deathbed if I go that way and say, man, I didn't do nothing, with my life. I didn't help nobody or give, but yeah, I think that, yeah, that's a good idea, man. Cause like me, I told you before I started, I'd like to have it to a point where my son could take my channel over and he could make a decent little income. And cause I'm at that age, it ain't about me anymore. It's about my kids, and
it's passing on a legacy as well, isn't it? I mean,
yeah,
it's like a family business. I mean, recently I saw the guy from Duck Dynasty. What's his name?
Phil Robinson died.
Yeah, he passed away, and I loved that show. And you sort of think, but he can go knowing I built a business with my brother Si, and I passed it on to my son, and he grew it, and he'll pass it on to his kids. Yeah. It's a legacy, your channel will be a legacy to you and your family, and who knows, in 100 years time, who knows where it could be,
Yeah, I'm fascinated. When he died, as a matter of fact, before I was, before we started this, I was fixing to watch his funeral. They had a little special on there.
Oh, yeah.
Phil Robinson channel. And, I'm not going to start getting into religion or nothing, but when he died, he fascinated me. I always was a fan, but not a super big fan. To see his life, he had that movie too, which I haven't seen yet, Blindside.
Oh, is that? Yeah, I did read about that. I've never seen that.
Yeah, and
because he's had an interesting life, that man.
Yeah, he was living on the bad side, and he got turned around and everything, and his life could have went two different directions. But
absolutely,
and then to be that successful, and to have a blessed life and have all those kids and grandkids now, and like I said, he built something for them. Now they got money and they're helping people because it was a ripple effect. Even when he died, even when he was alive, and then when he died, it's a ripple effect that will keep going, because they, like his granddaughter, they got businesses where they help people and help them get jobs. They're not just sitting around with their money, driving full, ATVs and have these big jacked up truck rednecks and spitting.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty good life. I like their life. I like what they get up to. Like, just going out and whatever, catching frogs or shooting or whatever, but that's again, though, he can look back on his life and say, look at my granddaughter, look at what she's doing. I think that's the meaning in life. You just got to contribute something,
Yeah, you got to do something, man, instead of just saying it ain't all about us. And that's what I like about that family, because I've been, deep diving in a lot of them and seeing how they've been helping people and helping people that don't have jobs. They employ a lot of people. That's just so cool, And of course, their faith, I'm the same way, believe what they about their faith, and not being a slobbering, drunk and not taking care of your family and changing his life. That's amazing. Somebody turned their life around, becomes successful. But yeah, it all circles back to that, dude. That's the same way. Because I think if you go, I've said this before, I want to see everybody succeed on YouTube that has good intentions. People that have bad intentions and that treat people like crap, I don't want to see them succeed. I'll just be honest. I want them to, straighten their own heads up, get a head check, and stuff. But having a channel, you're gonna get a little stressed about things. But I don't do it like I used to. I've kind of got, like, I'm gonna improve on things, but I'm not gonna let it stress me out. It's just a channel. I'm not making loads of money. It ain't my income, No,
and I think that's the problem, isn't it? When it becomes your job, I personally, I'm not saying this is it because I'm not in that situation, but I think you lose a bit of the magic, and you do have to kind of, I suppose, toe the line. If you're playing certain games, you can't really criticize it and things like that, and it's tough. But I just keep it simple, right? That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I love my gaming channel. Excuse me, but this channel here, I'd love for it to blow up, man. Because I've met so many amazing people, like the podcast. Like I had a guy on there that has a podcast, the hair metal guru, and I've been kind of friends with him and following him since he started. And now he's got, I think 7,000 or 8,000 subs, and he's interviewing.
He's going for it.
Yeah, the dude's interviewing like, he's from North Dakota, and he's got his own radio station in Houston. Not the own radio station, his own radio hour every Saturday night in Houston, Texas. Which he told me he does it for free, but he just tapes it, like advanced each week. Like,
yeah.
He talks on it, and then, then he'll talk, and then it'll be a song. It's like a list, how the old radio stations are. But he interviewing, man, people, all kind of hair band people, the most famous one, he interviewed a guy from Poison, the band Poison.
Like Poison.
Yeah, he interviewed Ricky Rocket from there. He's a guy from Great White, Tiger Tails, man, all kind of, and I was telling him, we had the conversation, and before he was on here, before I, hit record, I said, dude, you're interviewing people that were rock gods, some of them when we were kids. And, he's a little bit older. He said, man, I was thinking the same thing. I said, how the heck did you interview like Ricky Rocket for Poison? He said, man, I was nervous as hell. He said, but, I just hit record and it just, come out. I said, dude, he said, but that's crazy, man, the people you look up to. And then, which maybe one day I'll interview somebody that's famous. Maybe you'll become famous.
I'll tell you, I'd always come back for a chat, but I think you can do better than that. No. What I would say is you want to do this with Sketchny one day, because she has got one hell of a story about someone famous. Yeah. I won't say what it is, but she's got a real humdinger of a story.
Yeah, I'll pass the word on to her, because I don't know how to get a hold of her.
I'll send her. No problem. No problem.
I have her on here, but something else I was going to tell you, I forgot. And I met another guy, that has the a cryptid podcast. Named Daniel, and he's ex-military and stuff, and he's got a podcast where people come on there and have encounters, like Bigfoot encounters. Or Dogman, and we become pretty good friends. And he made me a mod on his channel. It's a little bit different than game in their lives, They'll laugh and joke, but we laugh and joke way more, in the gaming. But he's really a cool guy, and I've met some people in that community, that higher up the totem pole. That's why I'm enjoying this podcast, like talking to you. We don't always talk personally, and we can kind of get to know each other more, and I really enjoy that. But is there any games that you're really looking forward to coming out here soon, Merv?
Definitely GTA 6 for obvious reasons. That's a big thing. But surprisingly, I don't really keep up to date with what's coming out. And I think that's just because be honest with you, I can't be asked. I just cannot be bothered to get that involved in something that I know everything, you know, and I'm just not bothered. So it's quite nice that occasionally something will pop up and I'll go, I didn't even realise that's come out. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And Sketch is really good at keeping me up to date with, you know, she'll say, do you want to play this game or whatever? And I'll think about it. And before I know it, she's bought it for me. And I'm like, well, I'm playing that game then. But yeah, GTA 6 definitely. I mean, I'm into my simulation game. So I play a game called Football Manager, which, you know, soccer in the States, where you manage a team and all that. And I kind of like games like that. And that comes out every year. So that's something I'll look forward to. There's, you know, the Formula One games. They are ludicrously overpriced, but I might look at the next one that's coming out. But you know, the ones that I kind of, the things I look forward to in gaming, it's more stuff like, you know, like there's a new DayZ map coming out, you know, something like that, or I don't know, there's a game in development that's not ready yet, and I just like following that story, I think, more than anything. I try not to look too far ahead. If something comes out and I like it, I'll get into it, and if I don't like it, I don't like it, you know.
Well, do you think GTA 6 will have to have a supercomputer to run it, or what?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. It's coming out, May 26th, so I think I will be buying a PlayStation 5. I think I actually get more excited now, and this is just a testament to my gaming journey, but I get more excited now about a new graphics card coming out than I do a game.
Yeah, really.
That's where I've evolved to, I think. So yeah, I'm more into the hardware stuff these days than the actual game, you know.
Man, I'm so ashamed to say I'm so ignorant when it comes to hardware on a PC. You know,
it's probably a good thing to be, because it is a nasty rabbit hole to go down. I mean, I was looking at spending about probably £1,700 on a new computer, and I spent near enough £3,000. And it just, because you start going into, well, if I spend a little bit extra, I'll get a little bit more, and if I do this, I'll do that, and it's a rabbit hole you just want to keep your head out of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I know my son, he built mine a few years back, and I've been trying to save up a little bird feed here and there, so in case I do got to get something, you know, a graphics card or whatever. You know,
but again, you shouldn't be pressured into, you know, I think there's a lot of pressure that, this is the latest thing, you need to buy this, DayZ will run off of a potato, you know. You don't need much to play it. I was running for a long time with I think it was like a 1050 or a 1060 or something for a long time, and it's only when I started playing newer games did I think I need to do something about this. So, you know, you buy what you use what works for you, right? And like I don't know if you know Just Another Guy, Jag, who I run with sometimes. He's been really clever. He's bought secondhand parts, and he's been very like on eBay, and he's looked carefully in, you know, what's the users or the sellers reviews, and he's picked carefully, and he's got a good decent computer for something like £400. You know, he's been really clever. So there is a market out there to do that sort of stuff. You just got to take a risk occasionally.
Yeah, you got to take a risk. You're right, and deep dive, and kind of know what you're doing too. You know, I wouldn't. There's no way I'd try to attempt to do anything like that on my own. You know, I definitely had to have a little help. Okay.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, what's it? Okay, about your DayZ editor? I've seen you've been doing some.
What am I doing on it?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, so DayZ editor's getting on my tits, if I'm honest, at the moment. So I haven't really done much with it because since the update, there's things like visuals have disappeared and you can't see what you're doing. But what I've been doing with it is Falco Will, who I know, I sort of know through a friend in real life. And we've come together through gaming. Now, Falco Will's running a DayZ server, or he's setting one up where he's going to have like guilds and things. And I can't remember what I don't know if it's something to do with anime. That's way out of my world. But he's setting this server up, and he asked me if I would build a I don't know what you'd call it, just an area you'd go to, you know, like a key card area. So I've just been building that and getting used to that. I suppose I could tell you something that's going on in the background without giving too much away. I do have a project I've talked about in the past that I really want to get done, and using DayZ Editor is kind of helping train me do it in a way. So I'm doing it for Will to make this this key card area, and I'm enjoying that when Editor works. But it's also kind of a learning curve for a future plan that hopefully will be out by next year, I hope.
Roger that. Yeah, I seen you messing around with it on live stream. I just don't have the patience, man. Sometimes
it's a tough one to use.
Yeah, I mean, there's little things like that. You know, when I learned like editing, like videos, like I like learning about editing because you know I'll try to put a video out a week, and I used to heavy edit videos, and I'd just get, you know, wouldn't get that many views, and I'm thinking, you know, why do I want to spend 3 hours on editing a video when I could edit one in 30 minutes and get just as much views or more? Way when I get busy, but yeah, that's one thing I don't mind being tedious about is editing, you know, learning. There's just certain things that if it's tedious, I don't mind it, but I don't know if I could do that or not.
I mean, DayZ Editor is I don't know. I'm fortunate I can pick things up quite quickly normally, and I just saw a few videos, and you know, I've probably realistically spent an hour learning DayZ Editor. Everything else I've done, I've just done through experience. You'd be surprised how easy it is. Once you know the basic controls, you kind of just go with it. What becomes really frustrating is when you're trying to get things to kind of click together, because there is no click. It's not like Lego where you can click it together. You know, there's no click function. It's you literally have to butt things up against each other, and that's the toughest part. The actual using the thing is relatively easy, but I mean, how you just talked about your videos though. I mean, how do you? Because if I make a video. I'm really not that fussed how many views it gets. I'm more concerned about, did I think that was the standard I was expecting, and what can I learn from it, and am I happy with it? Do you get caught up in the views, or are you very much like, no, I like it and that's all that matters?
I don't. Kind of 50-50, but it aggravates me because like, all right, I think we talked about this, or I don't know if we talked about it now or before. On 7 Days to Die, he got the new update. They had streamer weekend. It was giving keys to streamers, and you've got to at least have 2,500 subs and an average of 500 views on your videos. I don't have an average 500 views. It sucks. The views, you know, that stopped me from having to get the streamer key to do the new update to stream it for the weekend, you know, and that upset me. Right now, the views, I would love for my videos to at least have 1,000 views, man, at least over 500 views when I put one out, you know, and it's only like once a month I might have one over 1,000. Now I'll edit them and I'll enjoy them and I'll smile, you know. I do get a satisfaction when I do want to edit one, deeply edit it, you know. I don't get the joy like I used to because of the views, you know, because it feels like that I'm wasting my time in a way. But if I would start getting decent views over 500 each video, I'd probably more enjoy the editing. But what about you? You just don't really care about the views and just
it depends. I mean, I try. Me and Sketchney have a lot of talk about this, and quite often when you put, like, for a short, I put not a lot of effort because it's only a short, but I put much more than I normally would into a short, and it absolutely tanked. And I thought, oh, that was so damn frustrating. Yeah. And then I do absolutely nothing. I put a short out that I think is going to be worthless, but I, you know, just stick it out, see what happens, and it does amazing. And you just think it's just nothing. It doesn't make sense. But
no, it doesn't.
I think what I'm at now, where for me personally, I don't. I think it would be the views for me personally, because just like you, it's like, was it worth it? Was it worth my time and
Yeah.
energy? But I've got a buddy who does traveling, and my cousin's also looking at going traveling. And I've talked to both of those individually, and we've been talking about me making videos for them whilst they're out there so they can enjoy their time. I like editing things, I can get on with it. I think in that case, in that scenario, it would be, I wouldn't care about the views because it's not my channel. I'd want them to get good views, and I'd want it to do well, and they're my customer in essence. But as long as I can come out of it and go, A, I've learned something, and B, I'm proud of what I've done there, I think for other people, that's all I care about. You know, if they said, oh, this has got 10,000 views or it's got 1 million views, it wouldn't change how I feel about that video. It would be more, how do I feel about it? So if it's for me, then yeah, it's numbers, because it's kind of, well, what else am I doing it for? For other people, I think it's, are they happy with the standard? Because I made my mate one short, and he was so, it didn't do great, it did all right, but he was so grateful. That for me was the reward, and he said he loved it, and that's exactly what he wanted. And I think that's where I get the pleasure from, you know.
Yeah, my main deal about streaming on my channel is when somebody comments and said that I enjoyed the video, and you know it's not it's a genuine comment, or man, that was funny, or something like that. That gives me the most satisfaction. It's not when somebody, you know, super chats me or nothing like that. It's when somebody says that, man, I enjoyed it, or something like that. Yeah. And like the shorts, I've never put no effort into making them. I make them on my phone, and I just make them right on my phone, and that's it. Cause you know, you can't make well. I mean, the views does help you, I guess, but not, you know, shorts. You got to get millions of views if you're monetized and make any money off them.
Oh things. God, yes. It's. I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, we talked about it earlier with when you stopped it, but I have typically found shorts are the best way for me to get followers.
Yes.
And then it's lives, and then it's videos. Yeah. But I see a lot of time now, like, I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy called Natty Bizzle, I think his name is.
Yeah, I know Natty Bizzle. He's good.
He's good. Like his stuff. Love his stuff. Yeah. Watching him at 1,000 followers, he starts putting out videos, and all of a sudden he's at like 13K. And I was like, he's putting out videos, and if I put a video out, it just bombs. But then Looting Goblin, who I run with, he will put out a short, and he says the shorts don't work for him. So, you know, it's all well and good big streamers talking about algorithms and things. I think sometimes you just got to go with what works for you, you know?
Yeah,
and if numbers isn't your thing, but you're happy with the quality you're putting out, brilliant. If you do want numbers and you're getting the numbers, brilliant. I think just work to what makes you happy, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly, man. But don't let it stress you all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're spending, you know, your spare time away from work or whatever you're doing, and you're spending time doing that and stressing, it's just not worth it, you know?
No, it's not worth it. But, you know, just like I was telling you, I quit making shorts, I started making them again. You know, I'm going back and trying to trick the algorithm, you know, I'm going back and forth. You know, and everything, but I mean, everything's been going up for me. I mean, you know, sometimes it gets stale, like on the subs. You know, I'd love to hit 4,000 subs this year, and it's just slow me getting subs. I mean, I'm not going to sit and cry about it, and I'm not upset about it, because you know I'm doing good.
Oh, you've done really, I look at your channel and I'll watch a short, like when you were putting shorts out, I was watching them every day, loving them, you know. And you look at your channel, and I think if someone said, you know, would you say Ash's channel is a success or not? I'm going to go, absolutely. I mean, 3,000 people have clicked on your channel, over 3,000 people to say, I like your content, I'm subscribing for more. And you know what I mean? I think that's just one, and I like your stuff, and I think you will just go from strength to strength. I can really see it. And especially, like, you come across genuine. You know, you said that you like playing 7 Days to Die or whatever it was called, and brilliant. You know, you're having fun. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the main thing. Just like there's a couple other games I've been playing, zombie games. Of course, DayZ, There's like I think 7 days and DayZ is kind of in my realm right now.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
really enjoying 7 days because I'm new to it. Really, I've only been playing a few months, and I'm playing. It's modded right now. It's not an overhaul mod that I'm playing, but when vanilla comes out, I think stable comes out the 30th of this month, but like a week before that, or I don't know when it is, like 15th or 16th, the unstable version. Because
Right.
it's a new, they're adding new things to the game, so it's going to be interesting. And there's a lot of like POIs that I haven't been to. There's a guy, he's from the UK too, Game Retainer, and he's a 7 days guy. I interviewed him last interview on here, and he lives in he lives in Switzerland now, but he's from UK. He's a real nice guy. The way I met him was I was watching some of his tips videos, and
Oh, yeah.
and I commented back and forth, ended up becoming friends, and like I said, I interviewed him, and it's a cool game, man, because really, and there's no end game to it in a way. I mean, there's a progression system. You go from trader to trader, and you go up tiers in your missions. And there's to a point you can get the best, armor and weapons and stuff. But the building, the whole premise of every 7 days, which you can, change the settings around, but that there's going to be a zombie horde come nonstop. Every 7 days for amount of time, you got to survive it, and you got to build something to. It's like tower defense game, it's what it is too.
I mean, I played it once with Milkman, and I kind of wish I'd carried on playing it because it's that you've got like 6 days to get ready, and prepare, and then it's all there's the battle. And what I like is it's not just that's it. It's right. You've done that. You've survived. Guess what? You've got another 6 days to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's an ever-evolving game.
It is because there's stuff to do in between. The looting. I love looting.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, and then you craft it. Craft this, craft your food, your drinks, your armor, and vehicles, and just discover new POIs, and there's a lot of jump scares in it, falling through the floor from the ceiling, and just it's a brilliant game. I mean, it ain't perfect, but for me discovering it, it's like the first time you discover a game that you really like, and I've still got that,
that's good.
I mean, there's times like when I play it 2 or 3 days in a row or stream it, I kind of got to back off of it a little bit, like anything else.
Overdosed on it a little bit. Yeah, I know that feeling.
You overdose on it, like DayZ. Overdose on it. I play a lot of PVE.
Well, you was gonna say, do you run with Grablow, don't you?
Yeah, Grablow and Chronic Kills. I run with them.
I see you boys running a lot.
And I got Chronic to play 7 days. Got Billy to play 7 days a little bit. I can't get Grab to play it.
He knows better.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sticking to one game on my channel, and when I'm working, that's the only when I go off work, the only game. And I understand that. I respect that. 100%.
You got to go with what's right for you, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. But I think that the only problem I have with GTA coming out, I'm definitely going to play it. I know I will. But it's going to be so oversaturated, man, by streaming. A lot of people streaming.
That is the problem. But then I remember when GTA 5 came out. I remember queuing up at midnight, and I've never done it before. Queuing up at midnight to buy the game at our local superstore, and I played it for a week solid, great. And all I remember then is going on YouTube and just seeing video after video after video. But the beauty of it was, I wanted to devour them all because it was different people playing it from different perspectives, you know.
Yeah.
And I like that. And I think yes, in terms of quantity, it will be oversaturated. I think the beauty of it is it depends on the streamer, doesn't it? It'll depend who's streaming it, you know.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting one. I'm primarily going to play it for myself, and I'm just going to stream it. And if people want to watch it, great. If they don't, hey, no problem. I will probably not even read chat because I'll be so immersed in it.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely going to give it a go. Hopefully my PC will run it. And I do look forward to the game. Like I said, it's been my favorite one was Vice City, which I didn't play them all.
Yep.
You know,
Vice City was the best one. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed 4 with Nico Bellic and I enjoyed 5 because of the sheer size of it.
Yeah.
But you just listening to you go into the nightclub with the chain gun and you listen to the music and just so many good things.
Exactly. And there was an old band in the 80s, late 80s. And
it's a time to be alive, right?
Yeah, there was an old band in the late 80s. I met him like I think let's see, 2013. The lead singer, we hung out, drunk some beer, and after it was a little bitty club, wasn't nobody there. He just got off a big tour, and he had a song on GTA, Dancing on Codes, and I was talking about it, you know. And I said, dude, I remember I played GTA Vice City, and your song is on the radio. One of my favorites.
And now you're sitting next to me.
Yeah, sitting next to him. But he was, you know, he never hit it big. He had like one song that was in like the top 100 billboards. But anyway, you know, it was cool though meeting him. You know, when I was a kid, everybody's, you know, big to you when you're kids, and you figure out that they're just human like you. You know,
everyone puts their trousers on one leg at a time, you know. I mean, my idol in music is Ozzy Osbourne. I love all that music.
Yeah.
And I think if I met him, I'd probably shit myself. But at the end of the day, they are, like you said, they're just a human being. Unless they've got a bit of an attitude, you know, in which case they can be, I'm not interested in them then. But you just bump into someone and you think, that's all right, that's cool. You're a dude.
Yeah, I went and seen last big concert I went to was they have it in Oklahoma called Rocklahoma, and they had I went and seen a bunch of bands. It was Kid Rock was the main one at night. It's a big festival, but I seen Black Label Society.
Oh, Zach Wilde, love it, love him. Yeah,
man, he could play. That dude is like, wow, you know.
Man, he used to go. I saw Ozzy Osbourne years ago at Wembley in the UK, and Black Label Society were on before Ozzy. Zach Wilde then played with Ozzy, then did a solo in front of Ozzy, and then finished off the set. And you just think, man alive, that man can play.
Yeah, and then you know he's toured with Pantera, and I seen Pantera back in the day. And
what with Dimebag Darrell and all that?
Yeah, I seen him back.
Oh man, what a band!
And it's the same when I see Black Label Society. The lead singer, Phil, I can't say his name.
Amiso or something, isn't it?
He had the band Down. He played before Black Label Society. Yeah, it was Down. He was playing. But I had a cousin. I say cousin, my third cousin. His dad and uncle would hang out with Pantera and back I guess Fort Worth, Texas. They would all hang out, party, and I think he went to school with one of them. You know, this older, my cousin's uncle. I call him cousin. He's about my age, and it was back in like '95 or '96 when we was all hanging out in Kansas. And his dad was just an old partier, you know, and he said,
proper old rocker.
Yeah, and I was listening to Pantera with jamming. And he said, Dad, what was the name of that band y'all would hang out with? You know, and his dad looked over, I don't remember, son, Pantera, something like that. And I'm saying, what, Bob? You know, his name was Bob. He said, yeah, me and my brother AJ was good friends with him, man. We go on the bus or something. Some band. I said, dude, he was partying with Pantera. Oh yeah. Well, it was like nothing to him. He's an older man. He didn't care. You know.
And there was a time in my life that I
Yeah.
would have loved to have done that and just gone,
Yeah.
imagine Pantera saying, "Do you want to come and be a roadie?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Exactly.
Uh,
My son, he's in the. I play guitar a little bit, but I'm not that any good. I don't play anymore. But my son, he plays, and we went to a concert a few months ago. He said, "You want to go to a concert, Dad?" Because he goes all the time. I said, "Yeah, son. He listens to a lot of new music, or some of it ain't new now, but yeah, let's go." We went seen Kill Switch Engage.
oh, Kill Switch Engage. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they was cool, and we seen Fit for a King, and the guy Fit for a King, the bass player, is real famous about spinning his bass around. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and it's just, I mean, he spins it around like 50 times. It's amazing, but it was a little club, and it was really cool, man. I really enjoyed it. I stood up for too long. I'm too old for that,
I,
that's
I,
that's the first concert I've been to in years.
I'll tell you who I'd love to see. There's two bands, and one of them doesn't. I can't watch them for obvious reasons, and that's Rush. I absolutely love Rush, but obviously Neil, the drummer, died. But I would absolutely love. Have you heard of Dream Theater?
Oh yeah, I know Dream
Yeah,
Theater.
Dream Theater. Yeah, I'd love to have seen them back in the day. I mean, I was obsessed. Every single song they had, I loved it.
Yeah,
Couldn't tell you any of it now, but I'd love to have seen them back in the day.
yeah, man.
They were something
They were
different.
an amazing band. Yeah, Dream Theater. So, what's your top favorite bands then? Three or
Oh,
two.
that is a genuine depends what day you ask me question because like
Yeah,
right now I'm into Stevie Ray Vaughan.
yeah, yeah,
I like a bit of 80s music here. Realistically, I'm a rocker at heart.
yeah.
I'm a sort of 70s 80s rocker. Black Sabbath. I remember listening to my very first Black Sabbath song, drunk after a Christmas party at my mate's house, and just blew my mind. And then I got into Ozzy, and then I got into Randy Rhoads, and then Zach Wild, and that leads on to things. But yeah, I don't know. At the moment I'm liking Stevie Ray Vaughan. I think he's really really talented. Obviously he's not with us anymore, but it's just that kind of I don't know that bluesy rock and roll Southern American kind of thing. I really
Oh
really dig
yeah,
that. I like that a lot.
yeah.
You know.
That Texas, Austin,
Yeah,
Texas music's really good.
Texas Flood
Blues,
is brilliant.
and they got their little Austin, Texas is like artsy, and
Yeah.
it's a little weird down there. I got a friend that she does music, and she's got a channel, and but she's from Austin, and I used to hang out down there and work a lot. They built a Formula One track down there at
They did,
Austin.
yeah.
Yeah. And man, Texas is a lot of old stuff. It's really cool, man. The landscape but Stevie Ray Vaughan, I really got into him the last couple of years. I got into blues music like that. It's like when I got older. And
Yeah, you appreciate it more, don't you?
yeah, because when I was, just coming to age or whatever, the 80s hair bands was my favorite because the first thing I ever heard I remember was Kiss.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
bit of Kiss,
and
yeah.
my brothers would play Kiss, and I remember walking in the room, 13 years old, 14, and they had Appetite for Destruction, Cinderella, Long Cold
Oh,
Winter, and I'd listen to all them bands, and one of my favorite bands was L.A. Guns, and the lead singer Phil Lewis, he's from England. And I said I would listen to a lot of his lyrics, and how they become a band. He used to lead singer Phil was from England. He played in a band with Phil Collins, the guy that plays for Def Leppard. He was in a band called Girl, back in England in the 70s. Well, I guess he went on and formed L.A. Guns, Phil, and then of course, the other Phil Collins, you got with Def Leppard in the band, but they had a band before. But the reason why LA Guns started is Tracy Guns and Axl Rose had Guns N' Roses, and they kicked him out and got Slash, And then they started LA Guns. When I started hearing all these lyrics about Gypsy this, Gypsy that. Well, I was drunk and met in the concert, met him afterwards. And I said, hey, man, you know, I was drunk. This was in 2010. I said, hey, dude, I said, you sing about gypsies all the time. I'm a real gypsy. He said, oh, no, man. He said, I'm a Romney, too. I said, what?
Oh, wow.
I said, dude, you're one of my heroes. Anyway, we talked a little bit, kind of got to the side. Well, Steve Riley was alive then. Steve Riley used to play with Wasp. I think he played with Quiet Riot too, the drummer. I can't remember, but he passed away now. Got to the side, we signed a bunch of stuff with me, which I no longer have, but he's telling me, he's the first one told me about Bob Hoskins being an English gypsy. And the one that played in Roger Rabbit, the movie.
Yeah, the actor, Bob Hoskins.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah, he was a gypsy. He was an English.
Wow, I did not know that.
And he had a movie called Ragney Romney back in the late 80s that he wrote and starred and directed. And he was telling me that, Phil was. And he was really, I wish I wouldn't have been so drunk, you know what I mean? Because we was hanging, you know, I could tell he wanted to hang out more, but I was just too plastered, man. That was one time I wish I wasn't a drunk, but he was a cool dude, you know. I haven't seen him in concert no more, but that's a band. That's a big, you know, one of my favorite singers and bands, you know. I mean,
well, I'll tell you, there's two others that have just popped into my head. One of them's Chris Stapleton. I really like his stuff.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a real talented guy. But you asked, I think you said what was my favorite band, and you know what? I'd probably have to say Pearl Jam, actually.
Really?
Pearl Jam really like Pearl Jam and Eddie Vedder, and it's just something, I don't know, I feel like they're the kind of guys that if you went around their house, they would just be like, "You right? Yeah, I'm all good, man. Sit down, chill." You know, I like their music, yeah. But I'll listen to anything apart from, I can't stand club music.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Yeah, man, it's not for me.
I don't like a lot of country, modern country. Now there's a singer. She's from England and she's a gypsy named Twinny. She moved to Nashville and she's pretty pop. She ain't super popular, but she's got quite a bit of following. And I don't really listen to her. You know, I try to support her here and there on, like, you know, Instagram and all that. But her name's Twinny. And she's like a country singer. She's been on the Grand Ole Opry, you know, and that's a big deal to be on the Grand Ole Opry. But country music, dude, I am not. I'm like my son. My son is like a rocker. He's like, man, I like the old school country, you know, and I do too. I mean, I grew up in Oklahoma. There's a lot of ones that come from Oklahoma, you know, a lot of famous country singers. Of course, Oklahoma's close, Arkansas, Texas. But yeah, man, I'm a rocker at heart. I mean, and what's weird is I don't listen to a lot of music anymore. I just like, I'm too busy to listen to music. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, do you know what? I'm the same. I mean, occasionally before I stream, I might put on something for a few minutes, but other than that, I mean, in my car I've got Planet Rock, which is the biggest rock station in the UK. Half the time I'm not even listening to it, you know.
Yeah, well, just talking about Pearl Jam, I never was into Pearl Jam. I was more of a Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots.
Soundgarden, nothing wrong with them. Yeah,
and I did like the Pumpkins a little bit too, you know.
I couldn't get the Smashing Pumpkins. I could not get into them. Yeah, I don't know why. But I just couldn't get into them.
That was my weed smoking days, so I like them. I tell you, another band too I really liked was Ministry. You know,
I've not heard of those.
There was industrial, and a little bit industrial, kind of like Nine Inch Nails in a way.
But, okay, yeah, I like
harder,
9 Inch,
but more like more industrial, harder. It was, it had deep lyrics, stuff like that, kind of like the Megadeth of industrial rock. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's more interesting. But so anything before I wrap this up? Anything you want to add or anything?
No, not really. It's just been, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. And I just hope your channel carries on, because I like your stuff, man. Keep them shorts coming, because they're easy to watch and I like them.
I appreciate it. And Hopefully, when GTA drops or before then, I'd love to have you back and get your opinion on that and everything.
Anytime. You let me know, man. I'll always be available for you.
But let me wrap this up and we'll talk some more. Well, everybody out there, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I could have talked to Merv for another hour and 24 minutes, but life goes on and bathroom breaks and all that. So, but anyway, guys, I really appreciate it. Make sure to give this a like and make sure I will drop his link in the video description and comments to go check out MagicMerve over on YouTube, guys. You won't regret it. But appreciate it, guys, and until next time, peace out, everyone.